By now, 12:30, let's say, or 25 to 1. 19 degrees Celsius now. Some rain would be coming down any minute now. That will not stop our chess lesson, our chess encounters, topics, friendlies, puzzles, and such. So we're at the right place, and we do our beloved game now. I am going to check very briefly if sound is okay, if the other platforms are in order here. Yep, that looks like it. Cool stuff. And now back to chess.com on OBS looks just fine. And I was just thinking that I'd like to try and solve a couple of puzzles taken from the chess candidates 2022. That's something written, commented by Anish Giri in this course, in this Chessable course. So that's a short and sweet. I haven't paid anything for it, and you guys can access it too. So it's completely accessible. Everyone really. So but this one, I've had a first attempt myself. I didn't quite manage to do it. I thought it's actually something with bishop takes, but it's not. It's not bishop takes. Looks like a pawn that you can take straight away. Well, it's actually not the thing here. And that's, I think that makes a lot of sense. And then the solution has been revealed. And so this is from a real game that happened in 2022, the candidates tournament. And Nepo played g5. And if you look at this, what means is that if white takes, black will take back with h6 and then get a rook on the h file, and that's quite something. If you're looking at the h2, says it's massive. It's really, really massive, because even if the king plays, let me see, can we play that check? No, we cannot. But I guess we can get another rook. Then we'll be pressurizing this one here. So that looks very, very dangerous. G5. G5 was played with a very powerful attack indeed. And I suspect the other rook from e8 wants to play on e6, maybe rook lift and then f6. This kind of ideas. Nice one. So I think we've done it already, right? Ah, okay, what's this? We should be going to the next one. Okay, how did Nepo continue the attack? All right, so now that so they give you now the next move that happened. So Ding Liren played knight b7 to c5. Obviously, he didn't take wanting to open up, but I guess nothing stops black from taking. Let me look at this. I can't envisage any damage here. I mean, something better for black to play than just h4 takes on g3. I'm correct. I guess I'm correct. h4 takes g3, right? So that's I mean, I didn't do that before. I'm just doing it now. Oh, incorrect. Oh my days. Actually, h3 is stronger. h3. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Because the bishop just goes on f1 and we're just pushing h2, right? With the threat of just simply promoting. Oh my god. Oh my days. A very instructive move, despite having the attractive alternative h takes g3. All right, so Anish doesn't dismiss it completely losing h takes g3. And actually, he quite calls it an attractive alternative. So he doesn't say it's a complete disaster, h takes g3. It is stronger to use the h-pawn as attacking. Wow. Okay, I mean, I wasn't just completely off the track with that move. Wasn't completely off the track with him. Oh boy. Right, so check is coming with tempo. I reckon, yeah, but we do have a check first. So actually, if I'm pushing h3 to h2, I do check. That's in the spirit of what we discussed. Now, if king goes in a corner, on the other hand, Okay, so that will take some time. Can you believe that actually these guys had the position actually on the board? So that was played over the board, real time candidates tournament. So that's from a real game. I would probably be incorrect. Your move H takes G2. Black leaves the rook hanging with check. Yeah, that's why I traded off because I thought they take with check. So if they take with check, I'm moving. And if the king takes, probably I can play check. So let me think about this one. What's the stuff here? Okay, rook takes with check. King's gonna move out of check. That's for sure. And now it's white's turn. Sorry, it's white's turn. What happens if they take here? Actually, gotta check. They move here. So what's the thing? Exactly. So you have to move out of check, right? Black is threatening and white has no good defense. Yeah, but it's not quite game over yet. Okay, let me put it on the analysis board. So I don't deny uh, the strength of the attack. So don't get me wrong. I don't say it's bad. I just wanted to actually see more accurately things. So the engine says f3, f4, king g2, rook. Oh my god, king g2. So if king were to take, rook f2, rook f2. Jesus, rook f2. And now you sort of have to. Then queen goes on h2. King to f1. Great. King to. Let's run here. Gee, what a game. What a game. What a game. What an ending, actually. What an ending, actually. Fabulous, fabulous game by Nepo. Let me see. Actually, does that show? Oh, yeah, it does. Just wanted to make sure it actually shows up on the. I mean, wow. Let me close this. Whew. So, Ding responded with f2 to f4. So that's from a real game. Can you believe that? Well, what springs to mind is directly now queen h1 check. Then the king will be moving. Then what do? Do you take the rook? Well, you sort of have to, right? Is there something else? Okay. Phase goes away, forcing, so to speak. You take the rook? You take the rook, I think. Oh. Does black take the rook? Or is there any other craziness here? Okay, after you take the rook. Okay, this collects the rook on the yeah, okay, so the engine, yeah. If I didn't move the chessable program, they just simply they showed me the stuff. Yeah, but that was the stuff I wanted to play anyway. Yeah, the attack continues, exactly. Okay, so I'm gonna play it now. I wanted to play this anyway, so I'm gonna take the rook. Okay. Okay. What else have I gotten here? How do I break through with black here? What a strong game. What a strong game. What a tough ending. Wow. Jan actually won this match in the candidates. How does black break through? What did Ian play here? Where do you move? I mean, I would like to move the queen, but how exactly? What? I played this kind of. That will take like forever, right? Do I move the rook so that I could make space for the knight? But why? This is crazy. Bishop h3. So what happens if king takes? King takes, queen h1 check. They move here. Then we got h5, right? h5 and then they move here. Then we got this. That should be game over. They move here. To f1. Knight on g2 is the easy part. Queen h3, queen h1, king g4, h5 as I said, h5, king g5, queen h3, probably for coming here. There's no problem on that to start. That is fabulous. Wow. So king takes, queen checks. They have to move h5. I've seen that. g5. And after g5, you don't play rook g6 as I personally thought. You actually play queen h3. You play queen h3 for this, and that would be game over. But what if they play this? Oh, we do that. Hello, conspiracy. Hold on a second. So that's the position. Was no problem for Jan Nepomniachtchi to spot. So checkmate it. No, actually it's this. It's g4. And doesn't really matter what they play. So even if this were to happen, it's queen to g4 checkmate. Wow. We could in principle, conspiracy. Don't you want to do some analysis? You said yesterday. We could do it now if you want, before other guys might be joining us. Just saying, just saying. If you want to do some analysis, we might be doing it very well now. I've started like, what, 15 minutes ago or something? Let me check. When did I start? Yeah, 12 minutes ago or something. So if you want to do some game analysis, we could. And then we'll, maybe we can do an arena and play more other people. So that chessable stuff is really amazing. And this one, the candidates tournament, it's absolutely fabulous. Absolutely fun. Totally fun. Wow. Okay. I'm very happy to hear that. That's a decent accuracy, I'd say. Was it a rapid or was it a blitz? What was it? Now you're gonna tell me, you're gonna confirm what. Oh, you're talking about the last time, not the ones that you've lost. You're gonna look at the one you've won. Just as an idea, nothing wrong with reviewing the games you've won. That's awesome, but also the ones you've lost in particular, because we need not run away from the stuff we lost. Actually, that is where we should particularly looking at. So we're gonna do one loss and one victory, time permitting. I think we should. So let me take this one then first, the one that you lost. Then we're gonna look at the one. Just restart the thing. Can't you restart it or something? Okay. The Twitch and things. Oops. It's opening. So you played E5 here. There's nothing wrong with this. Actually, it's a bit strange from your opponent to play with E3. Thanks, buddy. That's weird for that guy. Okay, he goes for this pawn here. So what did you actually play? Knight C6. Oh, I can see your moves here. Actually, let me just cover everything. We're just looking at the stuff that actually happened. All right, just hit the queen. Oh, you play g6. Okay, probably not f6 would have been playable too, but there's nothing wrong with this. F6. Okay-ish. Maybe knight, maybe bishop g7 would have been slightly more natural. I don't say that's wrong in itself. That's weird. This guy plays very weird stuff. Okay, why don't you hit the queen with knight g4 just for a starter? Oh, you did. Awesome. Okay, you should play here. So this one should be a victory for you. You should play d5 and then threaten some discovered attack on the queen. That's quite devastating. I'm only looking at seriously, I'm only looking at ideas like d5 and then knight f2. Just a random idea. I didn't look in depth, but that looks incredibly enticing. So I really think, in this sequence of moves, it should be quite difficult for white to play against because the queen is so exposed. So all you actually had to do here, I think you played fairly decently at the beginning, and you're doing a rapid. It's awesome. Now, if you just hold your horses and look for ways to actually hit the queen, that would be just brilliant. I don't know what white will be responding. What did you play, actually? I'm curious. Okay, you give your opponent chances. You played a5. Thank you, brother. Cheers, man. I appreciate you go via Twitch just trying to do my concurrent viewership if that's attainable. Now, a5, a5. I hope you're watching now because this is particularly aimed at your game. Very important to understand this kind of ideas so that you don't do them in the future. a5, it's something that has nothing to do with the dynamics of the game at the minute now. a5 does do nothing, doesn't threaten nothing, doesn't attack nothing. It's a peripheral move. It's a marginal move, literally. You're playing on the margin, literally, with no concentration on the real deal, on the real game. Moreover, let me just mention that is actually it weakens the b5 square. And in the future, your opponent might be exploiting the b5. And if you really want to push the a pawn, perhaps just a6 for the time being. Just a6. Or a possible b5 if you're really super keen to push the a pawn. But looks to me that the most important part of the game now just happens here in the center and hitting the queen. And d5 looks to me like the most exploitable move. So you should definitely go with that one. And now I'm going to switch over to the engine and actually check if my idea is correct because I want to understand more and more myself. The engine says d5. Just straight away d5 with a minus 1.80 something until the engine actually decides fully. So d5 is exactly the type of idea. Follow with a knight f2, and I simply do not have any good moves for white. It's a massive advantage. Development advantage for black. Hitting the queen. The queen is super unhappy where they are positioned at the minute. They're doing fine. But a5, you're giving your opponents chances. And it's full, and f5. Queen moves. Now, he took a piece from you. I don't know what to say about this one. This one just looks very much exploitable. And you can't even push d5 after bishop c4. In principle, let's see. You could play d5 now. Still d5. The piece went down anyway. Interesting way. He's got to play g3. And now you just play bishop f6. Maybe bishop f6. Okay. Yeah, maybe you should have. Okay, take. If I were you here, probably I would just take immediately on g4. All right, I don't think so. And also, it's very important to look at ways to get this bishop in the game. The bishop on the bishop on c8. So again, this kind of d6, d5, but probably taking here first. He takes. You open up the f file. Just saying. Then maybe d5. So you defend the pawn and you open up the bishop. Just say so takes, and if white plays, perhaps d5. And I think it's good. Then you have a very nice outpost, knight to e5. So the black knight would be then happy on e5 if this were to happen again, if we take on g4. So we got to look at this kind of ideas. Yes, if you have knight on e5 and if the pawn had been played on d4, you could potentially go to g4 as well. And not mentioning the f, it's open. So that one sort of helps white to open up the h, at least opening up the h, if not something else. So he took. This is a very weird. Okay, it's getting weird here. Oh, at least you play the knight on an active square, and you take this and you take this, so to speak, from the queen. But you don't take h5, so h5 is actually playable. Queen might be able to get to h5. Just saying. But he didn't. He plays the knight. He moved twice in the opening. Knight is being hit. And now you blunder another piece. So, conspiracy, it's awesome to learning openings. I think it's great. But what really does lead to losing games is the blundering of the pieces that we need to try and address. So, we kind of lose pieces. And that's why we lose. That's the main reason, the main cause for losing games. It's just dropping pieces. We're dropping pieces. So I would say just have a basic knowledge of openings. Well, I don't know how. I don't know. Learning more of the openings, it's great. But the main problem now, it seems to be the tactics in which we're just simply losing pieces. We're dropping pieces. So before we're addressing things in great depth, we just need to look at not losing pieces. Yeah. You could have kept playing for longer, if I may say that. Maybe queen to e8 to try and trade off the queens and not allowing them queen g3, frankly. So probably queen e8, just to avoid any unpleasantness with queen to g6. Then sending this guy away. You wanna send this knight away. You don't wanna have the knight here. This is very dangerous. But this guy should be sent away. Actually, that's bad, queen e8, queen e8, queen e8. Queen e8 is bad because of the fork. It's bad, it's bad. I didn't look at it. It's bad. Yeah, it's bad. It's bad. I agree. I agree. Maybe c6, but then queen g6 is coming. You didn't have to play. Maybe c6 first, getting rid of the knight, sending the knight back. Then maybe this. I mean, I fully understand. Yes. So losing pieces is a thing. Dropping pieces, it's one of the things that need to. Yes. So do rapids, but give more time. Give more time to tactics. Yeah, until I close the site. That's fine. Okay. So just give him more times. So let's go with this game then. That you played. Uh okay, let's just. So no one sees the moves. Actually, wait a minute. What's going on? Yeah, okay, let's just leave it. D4, D5. You're being black here. C3, very weird. Normally they go C4 or knight F3, C4, but okay, knight C6, knight A3. That's a weird way to playing. You know, we don't want to get the knights on A3, A6, H6, and H3. I think there is a opening now. What's the called? A Sicilian variation, Kronberg or Cronenberg, in which actually white plays e4, c5, knight a3. But I don't think you should be very much insisting on that one at the minute. So just saying now, roughly, yeah, knight a3. Probably he wants to go knight c2, probably. But that's Okay, it's interesting in terms that you don't allow the e3 to play, but probably white can do knight f3. Oh boy. All right, he gave you a full piece, so you are sort of lucky now. He gifted you a queen. He gifted you a queen directly now. So you're sort of lucky because your opponent just simply gave you a full piece. So now actually he should resign at this stage. He should resign at this stage. And not just that he's giving you a queen, but now he plays h3. I mean, there is no light square. There is, I don't know why he plays h3. Well, he's improving actually if he understands that we shouldn't give the queen on move number 5 or move number 4. Move number 4. I mean, if you want to improve that, first we need to understand that e3 is pinned. So knight f3 would be the move. Theoretically, yes, absolutely. I agree with you. He should be watching this too. Yes. Yes. So bishop here to g4 really pins the pawn. So he should be playing knight f3. Yes, that is true. So the only way to improve is just to understand why you've lost. So in this position here, your opponent just simply lost the queen. So this is sort of game over. And now he plays also defensively with h3. Yeah, you could, if you know them personally, you can recommend them to come and revisit the video for this particular minutes, 2-3 minutes, whilst the analysis lasts, just in this particular game. Another strange move. So let me tell you what's wrong with b3. The bishop can only make it to b2. The white bishop, the white bishop on dark squares can only go to b2. And if they want to activate the bishop, they need like quite a few tempi. They need to play c4. They need you to take. Oops, they need you to take in order to be able to pushing the pawn down. Very difficult way to activate the bishop on b2. Ah, well, I see. That's okay. Important stuff now for you is for you to understand what went wrong here for white. So apart from dropping the queen, they now play quite defensively. Now you kind of help them. Because seriously, this is one of those details, subtleties you need to have a good grasp at. You never take this very super passive knight because your opponent used their super idle bishop to take back your bishop and actually stop you from castling for the time being. So you are helping the other person now. If you want to play something cool, just don't take this guy. Just develop your things. But now because you got a queen, I guess you could just push e5. I mean, you could play something like bishop e7, bishop d6. Probably you could, but everything is so good for black here because you've taken the queen. You could just break in a center now with e5. You play e5, that's it. Let them take. Let them take if they want. Just play e5. Massive, massive advantage for black here. Now, you can't castle because, you just enable them to get a bishop. You could do long castling. I suspect queen d7 was intended with castle queenside. Okay, he can't really play here because you got this guy right in the right place, but you could play knight e4. That's not bad. So knight e4 I think looks interesting. And quite a few threats. I reckon you could do knight e4 straight away. And you can castle later. Because it's not that big of a danger. There's no queen, there's no white queen on the board. Conspiracy, you got no problem with this. So you've castled. Okay, that's not bad. Oh man, he shuts off his only active piece. Alright, he wants to calm down, but you know something? The antidote for this is just simply a6. Yeah, I don't see why not. We could do a friendly. But you gotta understand this idea is conspiracy. So if you want to improve, you need to understand exactly this kind of ideas. So now white shut off his bishop, and he has an attempt to actually go to b5. But after you play a6, he's not going to be able to push the pawn. Well, he is, and you're going to take, and you're going to take. You still have to play carefully. But again, knight e4 looks so playable. But you know something? Rather than a6, why not just knight e4 now? Because you're threatening f2 fork or c3, amongst others. So why don't you go on the offensive now? Because you took the guy's queen. Why won't you just play knight e4? Just move the knight. Something. You still... That's weird. Weird. Knight g5. Oh man, I have no idea what's that. I think I made a... I must have made some weird setting something. I was just looking yesterday. I didn't understand a single thing what's going on with that Twitch drop. I don't know what that is. I mean, okay, I need to go to Twitch and then deselect that thing. I don't know why I have ticked that box. It's for chess.com. Oh, I think they gave you something like 2 weeks of premium or 1 month. I don't know. 2 weeks or 1 month or something. Did they? That's awesome. I think so. I think so. Yeah, you try to kick the knight away. What's that? They give you a piece for a pawn? Okay. Yeah, now at least you check the guy. Okay, weird. He should have played bishop e2. This is weird. Okay, so the guy just played like... They say only 2 blunders. I think I've seen at least 5 or 6. This is a fork. Okay, game over. Oh boy, there's just so many weird stuff. And now he gives you either bishop or rook, or I mean, you name it. I think I would just go for the bishop now because I don't want this kind of things happening. And yeah, okay, you went for the rook. I suspect everything works here. The guy just played... He didn't play the most accurate moves for sure. This one is hanging. This guy is hanging. Everything's hanging here for white. And now he played bishop. Okay. Probably he's a beginner. Yes, checkmate is coming in a move. If rook goes to f1. So they did blunder a bunch of pieces, like all of the pieces. Sorry, he blundered all of the pieces. So I think this game should have like 10, 12 blunders at least. And a bunch of mistakes. So you just took your opponent. Yeah, he took a check. You're moving. That doesn't mean nothing. Okay, the guy probably just wanted to end up the game or something. It doesn't make any sense. Very many blunders. Very many blunders. Yo, you shouldn't be even bothering taking this bishop. Conspiracy. That bishop doesn't mean nothing. Because you got the greater purpose, which is the greater purpose in chess is checkmating the king. Very many blunders. Very many blunders. And very many mistakes. Especially your opponent, and you still need to narrow down your focus, your attention. Just play the necessary moves. Don't do marginal stuff. Don't weaken your position, and don't drop your pieces. Yeah, dropping pieces is critical. It's just so many errors. Right. So hello to my 2, 3 viewers. I'm not sure. Yeah. At some point I had like 4 guys watching. That's fine. Cool stuff. So we either go for Ding Nepomniachtchi and go with the further puzzles, or just say, well, we can't do arena because it's just 2 viewers. It's just 2 players or maybe max 3. So we need 4 people for an arena. We can't do arena at the minute. I think I should be opening those settings and look at those Twitch things, drops and something. I'm not fully familiar with that one. We could do a friendly. Yeah, we could do a friendly. Okay, let me try and create one. Press on the challenge. Yeah, but not 10 minutes. Let's just make it 5 or something. I just sent a challenge now. I've just sent outgoing towards yourself. So you could just simply accept it. Screen here. Yeah, did you accept it? Did I send another one or something? Okay. All right. Misclick. That's not a disaster. The perk is a very, very decent opening. Oh, if you want to abort, we can abort and start another one where you're feeling more confident. Things. Oh, well, that wasn't that bad after all, but that's fine. That wasn't that bad. Okay. Let's do a rematch then. Wasn't that bad of an opening. Okay, so now you go with whites. Gonna play the Alakine, I think. Hey, what's this Kretschik variation? I'm gonna do this, you're gonna do that. This kind of ideas. I think I had someone at the club playing this kind of stuff. There is a weird variation with bishop takes f7, king takes, queen checks, g6, this kind of ideas. Okay, but nevertheless, you didn't take on f7, so I'm just gonna push this pawn now. So now it's gonna be a bit of a tempo loss because the bishop has been hit by a pawn. Conspiracy, so now the bishop has to move. I'm gonna make a pin. So you gave me a pawn in the opening. We need to look at that thing. You gave me a pawn in the opening. I'm just playing normal move. I'm not doing anything extra. I'm just developing now and trying to castle. Develop my pieces. That's the stuff I want to play. Okay, you try to break the pin. Okay. So if you capture, obviously, I'll take with the pawn. Or maybe, let me think. Can I just do this kind of idea? Let me just... Developing, I want a castle. So if you take, obviously, I have to take with this pawn. Because this one is pinned. It's pinned absolutely by the bishop. Now you're hitting my guys, so I gotta move now. You're attacking my knight. I'm playing knight c5. I'm sort of attacking the bishop, which is currently defended by the queen, but you gotta be aware of that. And also double attack on this particular d3 pawn. So maybe bishop c2 might be an option here. Maybe. Or unless you wanna something else. This guy is hanging just for you to be aware. Okay, that makes sense. Well, I don't think I want to castle anymore. I think I want to play h5 now. I simply want to open the h now. You're gonna mute the stream. That's fine. If I mean, I thought it's gonna help you if I say ideas, but that's fine. Mute the stream. Yeah, sure. Stream. Okay, so plays 90. Hitting this guy. Obviously, I think I'm gonna opening. Okay, and then he's gonna push the pawn, but maybe I can block like this, perhaps. So it's a bit weird looking, but I think I'm gonna go for this. Let's try to do something about that knight. I think he could have taken with the queen way stronger. I think he could have taken with the stream. With the queen, sorry. He could have captured with the queen. How about that knight was very good to just meant making it very difficult here. Not sure. This the protection for the d3 now. Okay. Ooh. But I think I'm gonna win an extra material here. So bishop takes, and I'm winning a piece here. If I assess this one correctly, I think black's winning a piece. Not mentioning about this weakness on b2. I think I could take just a couple of pieces being given now. And at this stage, I think I could just trade everything. Just trade everything. Or we don't even need to bother about pretty much. One extra piece and a ton of pawns. And this guy, after I take, sort of stay there that night. I know it's pinned, but there is no pawns. So, and there is no pawn and there is no bishop. Now I'm defending the b7. So I could just play any rook. And then I can just play the knight. Whatever I want. Oh, I can take this guy late. I could play this. I could have played knight takes f4. Yeah, too many pieces dropping. And now that's a fork, I'm afraid, with knight to e2. And that would be check and attacking the rook as well. So that's more pieces coming off. A lot of material. So blunder the stuff is actually the problem. I don't have good moves for white because there aren't any. Too many pieces being lost. Blunders. So in the Krejcik variation, probably you muted the stream, but if you reopen the sound, I'm going to tell you a few ideas, and let's just accept the draw now. And actually, let's just go to. So in this variation here, are you there? Yeah, that's exactly what we do at the minute. I don't know if you can hear. Have you unmuted? Have you unmuted the stream? I mean, do you hear? Okay. Just let me know when you can hear it. So I know that actually you can you can hear and interact. Do you hear it now? Is the sound okay? Can you hear it? Just let me know. So you there now? Okay. Let me know. Let me know then when you're coming back and when you can hear it. Yeah, you ready? Okay, cool stuff. So this is a tricky one because after knight takes in the center, there is a variation, a sharp one. I think works very well in the bullet, sometimes in the blitz. It's this, and after king takes, I think the idea was queen f, not queen f3, but queen h5. Yes, not that one because then the knight blocks and game. And now it's this, and it's this, and this one and this one. Okay, so something like this. And then bishop g7, queen f6, d5, knight c6, this kind of ideas. So this is a variation, uh, not a very often played one, but I think it's employable in the bullet or blitz. So if you went for that line, I thought initially that this is actually what you planned. I thought that this is what you planned. Now, if you don't take here, obviously, and if you play, you know, knight f3, it's like you've given me a pawn. So unless you want to do that very weird sideline, would actually that might pay off with bishop takes f7. Unless you're ready to do that, bishop sacrifice, you've got to defend after this guy. You know, you need to do something. d3, just don't give me the pawn. Or okay, yeah, it might be the internet connection or something. So actually, this pawn has been taken. So yeah, in the spirit of the position, probably you've got to look at that sideline. But anyway, so now I've taken a pawn, and now I'm deflecting. I'm actually blocking the check with tempo. That's good. And now the bishop has to move because I'll take it. Yeah, that's the thing. So the internet is bad, obviously. It won't matter what platform. They all, okay. Yeah. So now I made a pin. You castled. I don't do anything in particular. I'm just trying to develop stuff here. And you're really bothered by the pin, so you try to unpin. That creates a lot of dark square weaknesses, let's say. That's not a bad one. I don't think it's a bad one. And I'm moving away. And you played bishop c2 because d3 is hanging. And now h4, but probably I should have just simply castled knight b8 d7. Because now you played a very nice one. You really played a nice one. And now I think you're supposed to be taking with the queen. Although rook h4 might be something to be considered, but it's interesting. Definitely interesting. And now I'm just trading everything. Well, at least I tried to. I think here you are supposed to just be playing queen back or something, because that one is just losing another stuff here. Just more stuff coming down the board. More stuff coming down the board. And now I'm just taking a piece here. So you just draw pieces. You draw pieces. That means at least a pawn and a piece here. Let me see. 6 pawns and 7 black pawns. Okay, so you lost the pawn at this stage and a piece, very importantly. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, you can mute the stream when we play again. If we when we play, so or yeah, you just mute the stream. Or yeah, turn down the volume. Just or turn it off completely. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, it's one piece up now and a few pawns. What, two, four, seven? Yeah, 3 pawns. Starting with the beginning conspiracy. Um. So maybe you want to look at something else rather than bishop c4, because if you play bishop c4 here, the e4 is sort of dropping. So you either play bishop takes f7, and you look at that very weird line, very employable to some extent, but maybe you want to look after this pawn. Maybe you just do d3. Oh, that's awesome, man. Yeah, so the engine indeed tells me to take, but maybe you would white here, you would look to just take care of this guy. You either play the main line with the e5 or played something with knight c3. If you go for this one, this guy's gonna drop. And now, you're looking at this kind of ideas. Exactly as I told you. Uh-huh. I don't know what means the 100% of the drop. Really, conspiracy. I don't know what's that. If it's my thing, does it say something that related to my account or something? Because I'm completely unaware. Do you? Okay, by chess.com. Do they say who gives the rewards? Is it chess.com or I do, Josh? So who does the reward? Conspiracy. Just asking. Does it say who does it? Oh, get Summer of Chess. Oh, that's cool stuff, man. That means that chess.com actually, when they have the community streamers, they reward via those guys as well. I thought it's just partners or something, but that's cool. Absolutely. That's cool stuff. That's awesome, man. I think you're going to get something like 2 weeks or maybe 1 month of extra premium. That's awesome. That's super cool. And I think, is it via Twitch? Oh, Josh, if you're not a Diamond member, apparently if you go via Twitch and watch this stream or any other community streamer, chess.com community streamer, you'll be rewarded like with a 2 weeks or 1 month of Diamond. That's awesome. Ah, Twitch drop. So yeah, you gotta go via Twitch. Yeah, that's cool stuff. That's really cool. I'm happy. Oh, did they say that? Okay. So that's completely chess.com making. I didn't yeah, I didn't partake consciously in this. I have no idea, but that's good. I mean, yeah, I think it's good getting some diamond membership. I think that's good. It can't be bad, at least for the puzzles or something. For the puzzles, for the lessons. Absolutely, absolutely great. Yeah, sure. Yeah, I don't think it's that bad. Okay, so now let's go back to the game that you've played. When you give up on that pawn on e4, you have to look at this sideline because you've just given a full pawn here. So normally this is the stuff which is getting very crazy, very quickly and very sharp. So normally I play this very rarely with black because not too many players with white do this, honestly. And now I do one of these, what? 1, 2, 3, 4 ideas. I do one of these 4 ideas. I might be going with D, I might be playing bishop, and then rook, and then king as if it had castles. Just this kind of fianchetto. Or bishop here and queen here. And then you got to be careful about that bishop. They can't really leave the c1 very soon because of the b2 weakness. So that might be another idea. d5, knight c6. I mean, if you want to play with the queen like this, with the queen on e4, the same number of pawns, 7 white pawns, 7 black pawns. Yeah, you could get with another. You could do another check. I guess black and white can do another check, but it's Blackstone, right? It's Blackstone. So you could do another check, and I don't even know what's here. Queen f6. I don't think it's a bad move. And I don't know. Is he getting too drawish now? Obviously, white can't do this, so probably they either do c3 and d, or knight, or queen takes. If queen takes is getting really drawish, I guess. Well, it's just the beginning. It's just move number. What move number is that? Move number what? Number 8. Queen f6. Bishop to f6. Move number 9 now. It's gonna be move number 9. So if you want to play in this fashion with white, I mean, if you look move number 9 and white didn't get anything out, it doesn't mean they're gonna lose. Okay, you play like a 650. Okay. Well, you try to attack something. The problem was just you just gave a few pawns, and then you gave me a full piece, and then you gave me another piece. So there were at least, yeah, maybe one or two blunders. Yeah. I'm sure there were way better moves for white, and probably I didn't play the most perfect game ever. But that's okay. We drew. That's okay because it was unrated. Yeah. You got in a diminished position in its attacking power. Yes. You mustn't give that pawn. Yeah, I mean, just look at this one. After e4, knight f6, you don't just give this pawn. You either chase the knight with e5. I think this is the main line. This is the main line, Conspiracy, and my other chess friends. And probably folks are aware. It's e5 is the stuff. It's e5. And you may go d4, you may go c4, you may go bishop c4 here. Hey, you may go knight f3. There's many things. Normally like this, and then followed by d6. Challenging this guy. c4 goes here, bishop c4 goes here, knight f3 if you want to do. c4, knight goes here. You mustn't take. You can play the 4 pawns attack. You can play knight f3. I don't think it's that good knight c3 though, because black's going to take on e5. Black's going to take on e5, and if white takes, then queen takes queen, and you can no longer castle, so to speak. It's still playable, but it's looking weirdly for white. So probably want to look at f4 knight f3 ideas. F4 knight f3 ideas. So that's how you play the Alekhine if you want to play the Alekhine. If you don't want to play, just don't play it. Just do something else. But don't drop pieces or pawns. So when this thing happens again, don't give me the pawn on e4. Don't give the pawn on e4. Don't give nothing. I mean, actually, you're not supposed to be giving any pawns, any pieces, anything. You got to keep them all. You've got to keep them all. Yep, that's fine, dude. No problem. Perfectly fine. That's all right. No problem whatsoever. It's good. I hope it's useful what we discussed. I hope it's useful. That's fine. And I'm going to go grab another cup of tea, and I'll be returning. I'll try and do a couple of more puzzles. That's fine, dude. So cheers. I'll see you then tomorrow evening, because during daytime I'll just have a summer camp I need to be at physically. So if I am to do any streaming, I'll do during evening hours. Yeah, cool, man. See you then. See you very soon. Cheers. Okay, so actually, let me just do a very quick game review here and see exactly what did I miss. And probably that H4 wasn't quite the best. Maybe that H4. Huh. And what was the blunder, by the way? Was it Bishop F6 the blunder? Oh, oh, okay. So I didn't per se did a blunder. It's just some inaccuracies and mistake. What was the mistake? Ah, this one because of the queen takes. Okay. So I reckon this one was not the best one because of queen takes, threatening knight here. If this, then this. So it's just getting a little funky. A little bit funky. So probably that wasn't quite the best one. Okay, cool. So let me, this one, leave it. Let's go to this one here. So I'm going back to chessable now. Back to chessable. Finish the game like Nepo. Oh, right. I think I remember because of this kind of ideas. Why couldn't Ding just take the G2 pawn? Because of queen? And then because of rook, I think it was like queen. Oh, what? Right. So rook takes, king takes, and then queen h2, and then checkmate in 4 moves. 3 now. And we got this, and then we got, wait, this, yeah. Oh my god, what a move. Wow, what a sacrifice. Rook f2. What a sacrifice. Fabulous stuff. Game of the day, Ding versus an opponent Shay. Actually, yeah, I'm gonna peruse through. Ding versus Nepomniachtchi. C4, G3. Okay, because of the D5. F3, developing, chasing that guy. Moves. Black has a lot of more space, absolutely. F3 and D3. Very cool. Well, knight is under attack, so you can't play knight C3. Yeah, knight C2. Second. So he chose to play knight C2. Castled. D7. It can go places. I mean, this one looks very interesting. So, sold A3 for B4, bishop B2. A3 trying to cut down the A6 knight. Yeah, okay, you don't let him play. That's true. Can't move and won't be able to move after B. That's true. Rook B4. And B4 not just taking from the knight, but also allowing some bishop B2. Ooh, checkmate is coming. Ah, that was a little bit of a weakening move, isn't it? Probably he didn't do it with the easy heart, with the light heart. That H4, queen C2, takes and takes, takes and takes. King H2. I think he just wants to play bishop to H3, right? I mean, you just want to get rid of this bishop. Ooh. Yeah, so after G5, yeah, after G5, things are crumbling for white. It's just too exposed and too much attacking power. Too much attacking power. Wow. All right, guys. So we're gonna be pause it for the time being now. Gonna wrap it up. And let's see. Tomorrow is that summer camp, so I reckon maybe 7 p.m. in the evening. 7 p.m. in the evening. I'll get a tea and then we'll do some 60 minutes. We'll do some puzzles together, maybe some friendlies. Maybe we'll do an arena if we got 4 people present with us. And yeah, enjoy your Sunday, guys. Thanks for stopping by to my 3, 4 friends. And I will, guys, see you tomorrow evening then. Wonderful Sunday.